Hello everyone, and welcome back to Old Dad's Modeling Mess. In today's video, we're doing a what's in the box for my brand new, stolen from Andy, You Pick My Next Build series. Thank you, Andy. Um, Today we're doing the Italeri T3476. This is kit number 282. Normally when I do these, I, you know, I like to point out all the good stuff and everything like that. Uh, some of these kits, I'll point out the things that I don't like, where instead of having spots, or little holes for where you glue the parts on and stuff like that, they have the little stamp there. So, you can't really do any detailing, you know, or whatever. But I point out the goods and the bads. Like in my previous what's in the box for this build series with the TriStar kit. That kit's amazing. Love all the details on it so far. It's in the lead as of right now by a landslide. Um, but that kit is amazing. The details on it are nice. There's a lot of parts to it. Well, this kit's not that. In my honest opinion, this kit is garbage. Uh, and I'll show you why I think it is. It's still buildable. It can still be a nice kit, okay? But in my opinion, this is something that I would expect from Revell or Monogram, AMT, something like that. Um, Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's more like their snap together line to me with the way that this is. So, moving on. Okay, here we go with the instructions. Um, yeah, that's it for your sprues. You get 4 sprues, unless you count the C sprue, which is the hull, which those parts normally break off. So, if you want to count that, you get 5 sprues. So, yeah, there's not a lot to this kit. Now, getting on to the instructions, they look very, very basic. It's very understandable. You'll be able to put the model together, no problem. But it's just, yeah, I mean, it's not much. Uh, what little bit of detail, this part here actually looks decent, but still, this kit here, uh, wow. Let's just say I'm not impressed. Okay. So, with that being said, what are my main issues? Bottom of the hull. As we all know, most kits have some sort of detail on the bottom. This does not. This has nothing but the name. So if you take my Rifeld T3485 and you look at it and you compare the two, you got hatches down here, 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 and over here. Nothing flat, just a name. So it's okay, well, I can almost deal with that. Nobody's really going to look at the bottom anyway, right? Uh, this part here, the rear part of the hull, where the tow hooks go, that I'm hoping maybe I can soften that up enough with the Tamiya cement that I can use that to make weld beads around them. I don't know, but that's so far from what I'm seeing. That's been the highlight. The hatch, you got this much detail on the inside of a hatch that's never going to be open because there's no interior in it. So why couldn't you have put the details on the bottom of this? People are going to see this more than they're going to see the inside of a glued closed hatch. Just that's the way my mind thinks. So not everybody thinks that way, and that's fine. Uh, the rear, yeah, that's just one big stamp. It's better than nothing. And speaking of nothing, the sides of the hull here, yeah, they're just as impressive as the bottom of the hull. There's nothing there really. I mean, it's yeah. I, I'm I'm really bummed by this because I love T34s. They're I love them. Now my biggest issue with this, besides the lack of detail, was some genius there decided that they're gonna mold all the fenders on. Well, these ones here are pretty big, and that's fine. Okay, but if any of you guys watched my uh, model kit haul, you'll notice that these rear fenders were broken. So before I put it back in the box, I went ahead and I put some tape on there and I glued them back on where they're supposed to be, even though they're not at the right angle because they're not flat. They go down. So, yeah. But as you can see, the glue doesn't take to this. And I'm going to chalk that up to this is just a really old kit. Okay. But still, the idea is they molded them to there, and they molded them, I'm assuming, and this is the only thing that makes sense to me, is that that part there was really thin so you could bend it down to get this angle here. Okay. And that caused them to break off. So, getting back to the hull, really the only good things about the hull, top half here, is there's a nice little weld bead around this, which is nice. And then there's one up here above the top of the hatch. See if I can get in there. There we go. Um, it's just really basic. There's no real texturing to it or anything like that. And these seam lines, these are just horrible. I mean, they're seriously they're dog shit. Um, I'm trying to be as polite as I can be with it. But yeah, that's wow. Now we will get on to the probably the best part of this whole kit, and it's it's better, but not by much. The turret here, let me see if I can get that in there, actually has texturing on it. Okay, and that back part there looks really good. But then when you go around to the sides here, you get that great big huge open area right through here, down through there, going up over here onto this other side and going down. So it's like they tried to texture it, but gave up on it. I don't know. It's going to have to be. I'm going to have to add more to it. Um, let's see if we can get that weld bead in there. The weld bead actually doesn't look bad at all. Excuse me. Uh, so that's a good thing. The bottom of the turret has the texturing on it, and it's nice. And the mantlet has some too. So I mean, there are a few things in here that are decent. Uh, so it's still good. But then you get the tops of the hatches here, and they're just yeah, that's a snap together kit. I mean, Revell monogram garbage there. Again, when I think of Italeri, I think of a better name brand. You know, it's not an AMT kit, so it should be better. I expect more from it, but I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Uh, but yeah, so far we are already halfway through this, and these next two sprues here kind of I hope you I hope it helps explain my way of, or my thought process on this. Okay, that wooden box. Look at the detail on that. That's got a beautiful wood grain to it. Looks nice. It that that is what I expect. Okay, you can do that here, but you can't do it anywhere else on the model. You know, or you half-ass it. You know, I mean, there's no texture on the front of this, even though there should be, and you've got some weld beads there. Okay. Um, the bottom of the hull, there's nothing. The sides of the hull, you don't even have like the uh, fake stamped shock there. You know, uh, yeah, it's it yeah, it's not that great. Um, the little hinges here for the two that are on it aren't bad. I'm sure I got some more. I've got I don't know if you can see over here in that PZ4 box, but it, and I believe the Easy 8 box above it are full of bits and pieces of leftover sprue parts and stuff like that. So I've got plenty of parts, especially for T34s. So uh, I'll be able to handle that. But like here, you get some nice flash, which it's like, damn, you know. This one's the same. This is absolutely the same. Uh, it's more flash. These are junk. Uh, I, at least these two are not molded in, but like this here, if you go this way, there's a probably a half millimeter down to get to those parts of the grate there. So those will never be highlighted unless I buy the photo etch and put over the top of it. So there's detail lost there that could make the kit look much better. Um, I'm not a fan of these, but you know, I mean, yeah, there's nothing to this kit. The only good thing about these is they're in the gunmetal, so it'll be easy to weather them and stuff like that. But in my honest opinion, if you guys are ever out and about and you're looking to get a T34 kit, don't get this one. It's just junk. It's not worth it, in my opinion. There's, especially when there's so many other brands out there. You got Tamiya, you got the Rifeld. I mean, there's just too many options of better kits out there than this one. Uh, yeah, it's just that bad. And like I said, don't get me wrong, this kit will get built, uh, and I will do the best that I can do on it, and I'm sure it'll turn out fine. But it's, for me, when it comes to doing this stuff, I want to open up the box and I want to be impressed. You know, we spent our money on this stuff, and next thing you know, I open it up and here's a Revell monogram snap together model, basically, and it's like, wow. Um, you know, here's my Rifeld T34, and this thing here is amazing. The detail on it, you know, all the rivets and stuff like that on the back panel here, that wasn't on there. Like I said, the hatches and stuff like that, the covers down here on that's not there. I did not see any of the grab handles or any of that, or the hooks up here for the turret and stuff. You know, this would be great for, you know, like a 10-year-old beginner. This would be a good kit, because then they can learn to, you know, like some of the detailing and stuff, like with the weld seams and the texturing. That's what this model kit would be good for. But for people that have built models like we have, I wouldn't recommend this unless you could pick it up for like $4 or $5. Um, you know, yeah, that would be about the only way. Or uh, somebody gives it to you. I mean, you can always politely say no. I'm good. But yeah, I'm really bummed with the quality of the kit. But you can never have too many T-34, so this will get built. Uh, I just don't know if it'll be from you guys picking it or not. So, if you guys do want to see this get picked or built, uh, drop a like in the comments, or drop a like, comment down below. Let me know that you picked this one here. Right now, uh, this has one vote. The 38T is just dog stomping both the other kits. So, yeah, if you guys want this one here, vote for it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.